Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we're taking a look here at device management for Azure AD. So let's just define what device identity management is. It is the management of physical devices such as phones, tablets, laptops, desktops, computers that are granted access to company resources such as printers and cloud resources via device-based conditional access. So here's what it would look like if you opened up Device Manager and you had connected some devices. Notice on the left-hand side, we got ourselves whoops, I used the highlight tool, I want the pen tool, but we have some desktops, laptops. We could have phones in here as well. And there are different types of join types, which we'll talk about here in a moment. You could apply MDM, and we'll talk about MDM and MAM in the upcoming slides. But for companies with a distributed workforce that allows remote employees and who are allowed to use their own personal equipment, this is what we call bring your own device. So you should know BYOD. A company needs a way to protect their organization's assets, such as access to cloud resources across the devices where they have less control over the physical securities of the work environment. So device management, this stuff really ties back to the zero trust model that we talked about all the way at the start of this course. And this really illustrates how the identity is really the first security perimeter, okay? For getting devices into device management, there are three different ways. We have Azure AD registered. So this is where you have personally owned or mobile devices. You're signed in with a personal Microsoft or local account, and you'd be using things like Windows 10, iOS, Android, Mac OS. For Azure AD joined, it's owned by an organization, signed in with an Azure AD account belonging to the organization. They exist only in the cloud, and you're looking at Windows 10, Windows Server 2019. For hybrid Azure AD joined, it's owned by an organization. You are signed in with Azure Active Directory, Active Directory domain services accounts belonging to the organization, and they exist in the cloud or on-premise. You're looking at Windows 7, 8.1, 10, Windows Server 2008 or newer. They're not going to ask you about all these details in the exam, but you should know broadly these three categories, and that the hybrids for hybrid, Azure AD Join is for is cloud only for organizations, and this top one here is for personal. Okay.